I missed out doing this on Monday, so how about we go ahead and do it on a Thursday? So we're gonna take a look at some of the fancy serial numbers to sell. What I did was I picked from the fifth, which was Monday, because I dropped the Monday market report Monday morning, and that's the big reason why I didn't do this video. And then just having a really busy week. It's gonna be busy between now and the Tulsa, Oklahoma coin show. So more than likely, I have one consultation this afternoon and possibly another one on Monday. I'm waiting for the lady to get a hold of me on that. But after these two, I think I'm cutting it off. I'm going to close out the rest of the month because I just need 100% of my time to try and just kind of resolve and fix everything. There's nothing needs really fixing, but the video and the content creation and the market reports they have to be done on par between now and the 29th. So that way we could have a nice free weekend at the Tulsa, Oklahoma show, which is a big content creator show for coin currency, coin roll hunting, and silver PM related folks. So you're going to see guys like Rob Finds Treasure on there. I'm going to be there. The live coin Q&A panel is going to be there. I believe Treasure Town's going to be there. Silver Seeker, really great guy. Hope to meet all these guys in person. But it's going to be a big show. So if you guys are in town or if you wanted to make the trek up that way, would love to see you. And I'll give you guys more information as we get closer to the event. Probably next week I'll do an official video on that. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out some of the fancy serial numbers. So I'm going to do Monday and then the weekend before. So the 5th, 4th, and 3rd are the 3 days that, and goodness gracious, the market is busy. It's really busy on these fancy serial numbers, starting out with this 2017 A $1 bill. With a low serial number, you can see it's 947. 5 leading zeros, and then a 3-digit low. Notes a little bit circulated. Really nice. I would be happy to find something like this because I know they're worth money, and especially in this condition where it appears like the note didn't circulate too much. I mean, it has a really distinctive centerfold, so there is that. But this one right here, ladies and gents, ended at $27, 10 bids. Now, when I do these market recaps for the fancy serial numbers, I don't normally put in the shipping. So I'm just going to go by what the actual price is, but do keep in mind that some of the sellers do charge a shipping fee. And customarily, we'd add those in to the price of the item because that's how much you spent to own it. So that's the overall cost, especially for those of you that like to flip and resell these in some capacity. So that's the first note we got there. And we have about 20 notes for today. Another low serial number, but a lot better one. This is a low serial number 72. 6 leading zeros. This one sold for $130 and 28 bids. So this one was a normal auction bidding. So serial number collectors would collect this. There's a pretty wide audience of that, and that group continues to grow every day as the interest elevates to the next level. But also birthday serial number people will want something like this too. Someone born in 1972 will find some sort of value in owning a note like this. This is an older, was it 1999, old, not really too old, but it's a non-colorized, what they call big head. This is the upgraded design after the small head ones that we've known for quite some time, unless you were born after the year 2000. Then the colorized notes is all you're used to, I guess. But these right here, actually, I like them. They're kind of like the film noir version of a piece of currency. Because of how bold and bright and vibrant everything is. Really good sale, $130 for that one. And the note's in phenomenal shape. It doesn't appear like there's a lot of circulation wear, if any. And a little bit of ink bleeding in certain areas. So the inkwells must have had a fresh fill up of ink to cause a lot of the bleeds on there, which is normal. We have a 3-note lot this time around. It's the only lot on the list. I don't typically talk about lots too much on here, only because we don't see that many. A lot of people have been selling them separately. But in any event, much like my regular pocket change market report where I talk about bulk lots, it may not be such a bad idea to buy a bulk lot if you could get it for a cheaper price. Now this one was not a cheap price at all. This is about what I would expect for the 3 notes to sell. Collectively, I firmly believe they're worth about 15-20 bucks a piece, so there's no money to be made here, but this is a really quick sale. So we have a trinary note, so we got zeros, ones, and threes on the serial number here. Another trinary, we got 1, 2s, and 3s, and then another trinary. So 3 trinary notes. For the most part, they all look like they have a little circulation wear. And if you didn't want to personally deal with selling these, you could always throw them up for, kind of like a buy it now type of scenario, 60 bucks, and let it fly. Free shipping on that one. So I just wanted to point that out. Other than that, that's a really good sale. Converting $3 into 60 is the magic trick that I personally would love to learn. And you guys can too. Next one that we have here is a binary repeater on a $10 bill. Now we're getting into the territory where the higher denominations of notes, you're not going to make nearly as much money because you're starting at a very high denomination. And we actually have one really good example other than the 10 that you see here, where if it was on any other smaller denom, it would have sold for a lot more money. Or maybe not so much a lot more money, but you would make a lot more money, net profit. So this one here, 2277, sold for $30.99, so 3x face, 6 bids, and as you can see, it's a little ragtag piece here. Nothing too terribly crazy from grade wise. And again, in case you guys haven't figured it out, you don't necessarily have to grade any of these. There is, again, that stigma in the collectibles space that it's grade so that way you could sell for a lot more money, and that's simply just not the case today. It used to be like that in 2020 and 2021 during COVID when everybody was grading everything. Short of a piece of toilet paper. So just to let you guys know, don't do that. So it would probably sell for the same amount of money if it was on a $1 bill. All right. So again, your difference in net profit is about $9 here. Considering that, $1 bill versus a 10 with the same serial number and pattern would certainly obtain the similar amount of money. So please do keep that in mind. Now, would I throw this back? Absolutely not. Take the money and run, and then go buy yourself some more notes. First pretty cool one here, but based off of the price I've seen sell it for, it's probably a really well-worn example. So we have 7 in a row 2s on this one. So we got 2s and 9s. This one sold for $50. And judging from what I'm seeing here, again, very eye-appealing note. Yeah, it's circulated as a few margin tears here on the left side. 2013 series has a little bit of a gas pump digit on the 9 here. Nothing too crazy, very minor, but people do look at that as kind of like an additional premium as an error on these notes. There you go. 7 in a rows are generally a little bit more valuable than 7 of a kind, where you could have that 9 right in the middle of the serial number, and it would change the value drastically. Because with fancy serial numbers, folks, it's all about the eye appeal. So there you go, $50 bill for that one. So that's a pretty good 50x there. This one here, I'm actually very impressed, and I've come up with a new kind of nickname for anything with a lot of 7s or 8s, and that term is luckies. So we have another lucky a luckies note here, I would say. Six in a row sevens is what we're dealing with on this 2009 $1 bill. Two bid strong, almost $50 closing. And as you can see, 0, 5, and then six sevens in a row. Sevens and eights, very widely collected due to their lucky numerology type of background to them. Eights are very lucky in Chinese culture, along with a few other nations that recognize eights as being a very lucky number. But as you can see, very well worn specimen here. Nothing too crazy. Again, if you think that your note's too beat up or too raggedy to sell, look at listings like this, and it's going to change your mind in a heartbeat. So here we go. This is $100 bill with actually an extraordinary looking serial number. It's a binary repeater, so you get 8833 8833. Check out the sale price, $120 on a $100 bill, which is $20 in profit. That's if you don't subtract eBay fees, which comes out to 13%. So right off the rip, you're going to have to take off like $14.50. So you're going to be left with, what, $5 in profit, which is unfortunate. This would be almost the type of note that you would throw back, honestly, because it's such a high denom with a fancy that I would say is like marginally on the low list of fancy serial numbers. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's a very good note. You have eights in there. But again, these high denom notes with the fancy serial numbers on them is almost like a modern tragic story. You know, it does have a margin tear up top, so that's a condition issue that people would prefer to avoid at all costs. So while this looks like a very attractive sale price, keep in mind it's a $100 bill. Next one that we have here is a super repeater, this time a 1995 $1 bill. Ones and fives repeated over 4 times on the serial number, and that's what they call a super. $144.50 on this one with 20 bids. I looked at this one earlier, and it's a fair amount of money for a note that is in this condition, which I would say might be like a fine 15 grade, which is not too great for a modern. It has a few edge tears here on the right, one right here on the left, and then pretty well circulated down the middle where people have constantly and repeatedly folded the note in half. But other than that, I would never turn this note away. I would keep it, and considering its age and condition, I would resell it the same way that this person did. Which is a good amount of money. Again, we're doing magic tricks here, folks. Turning $1 bill. Here's my magic wand. Woo! All we need is a hat and then, the proverbial rabbit coming out of there. So 144x profit there, which is really nice. Next one that we have here is another one of my favorites. I actually own a few of these in my personal collection. Now, not this one specifically. But this is what is referred to as a super radar. So you have 2 bookend numbers that are the same, and then you have a solid 6 in a row of any one number down the middle. The one I actually own is zeros and eights with a 0 at the end. It's one of the coolest notes in my collection that I will never get rid of for any reason. But this is on a 2013 5. I would say, as far as denom goes, I'd be okay with $5 bills with a really nice fancy serial number, and then that's it. I wouldn't hunt 10s or 20s or anything like that. Not saying that I wouldn't keep something if it just kind of came to me casually without me actually having to hunt for it at the bank. So $103.50, 25 bids, a lot of bidding activity on this one, very robust looking note, very little circulation wear, which is what I like and what a lot of collectors prefer. So well done there, $103.50, 20x profit. Next one that we have here, a little small one, $12.01. 10 bids on this 2009 $1 bill, showing binary zeros and sevens. They're all kind of scattered and not in any sort of order, like a repeater or a radar, so it makes it a little bit less eye appealing. People like numbers that are either grouped together, like if there was like four sevens, four zeros, or 7700 7700. Those would obviously command a little bit more desire in the secondary market, but you can see that this one also exhibits a fair amount of circulation wear, thereby leading to its sale price of just $12. But still, we're making money here, folks. And the next one that we have here, this is instead a seven of a kind ones. So beyond the two most desirable numbers, which are sevens and eights, you have ones and zeros. So ones is next, and we have seven of them right here in the serial number. Of course, the seven is kind of like it's over a little bit. Kind of breaking up the eye appeal of it a little bit. But we can't argue with $117.50 sale here, 21 bids. A lot of bidders. A lot of these are coming through just regular auctions and not so much buy it nows, which is refreshing. People have understood that there's a lot of market support and a collector base for these, and that's why people in general feel very comfortable selling these, as far as like, hey, start it at $1, let it fly. And then, the results speak for themselves. Very nice note. This one right here is crispy uncirculated. Looks like it came out of a Fed Reserve BEP strap or something like that. The way it is, nice brand new note. 117 is a good price. We also have this one here. This one I've talked about previously. This one ended up selling for $30 as a buy it now. But the serial number is typically referred to as a tombstone note. It's a very unfortunate type of note, to be sure, but to a collector or a person that knew someone, maybe in the family, that was born in 1939 and passed away in 76. This would have that kind of like desirability for them. So that's a tombstone where you have a beginning date and an ending date. And that's just the nickname that's been given to him because of what it represents. So, not too bad, $30 sale. I mean, if you do come across these, again, on a dollar bill, it means a lot more. The dollar bill design in itself is kind of like an ornate tombstone of sorts. So it just all kind of fits together. Very attractive, eye appeal wise. I like these notes, even though they have a very sad and somber kind of like feeling to them, but yeah, always one to be on the lookout for. Most people do overlook things like this. Next one that we have here, another seven of a kind, this time twos, and we have a five right down the middle there. This one was a $75 sale. A near solid fancy. That's about as close as you can get by description. 2017A, so a relatively new series. And just to let you guys know, there are notes officially out in circulation that bears a series date of 2021. So finally, the Fed Reserve or the BEP had finally changed over the Secretary of the Treasury in addition to the other name that's on there. So usually when there's an office change, that's when they change up the series date on there. And that's why there's a good like 4 or 5 year gap between one and the other, because a month or two ago I had made mention in a video that, yeah, these are brand new 2017 A notes. And people were like, that's 6 years ago. It's not brand new. And I had to explain myself through that. So I think they got it. They didn't respond when I, responded to their comment on the video. So whatever. It's just, it is what it is. You can't expect to, get everyone on the same page as to, why things happen here. But this is an attractive note, circulated, so nothing too crazy, and that supports the $75 sale here. Next one that we have here, this is a beater, but keep in mind, this $24 sale is a lot bigger than it looks. 2 bids, but this is 6 of a kind eights that kind of end the serial number. And again, that's a Lucky's note, is what I call it. So you could call it trinary, but more appropriately, it's six of a kind eights or six in a row eights. And again, it's a pretty raggedy looking note. Hard to make this one look any better than what it is right now. You can't really reverse the aging process or the circulation process of paper money, unfortunately. But $24 sale is always commendable for something like that. Here's a trinary, nothing too crazy, $9.50, 7 bids, but it's got four, no, not exactly, zeros, fours, fives, and sevens. So it's not even a trinary. It's a step up though. So you have zeros, and then fours, and then fives, and then all the way to seven. Not my personal cup of tea, but the redeeming thing about this note is all the numbers are grouped together and they're not mixed, which would just kill the value of the note. So $9 there for that one. We have what we affectionately refer to in the fancy serial number game as millions notes, which are traditionally 1 or 2 digits to kick off the serial number and then all zeros. So there need to be at least 6 ending zeros, and then normally any note that ends in 4 zeros are generally pulled out of the BEP or the straps. So they don't normally circulate that, but there's been quite a few instances where they have released those quad zeros into circulation. Here's an example right here. A single or a double digit number and then 6 ending zeros, that's what they call millions. So this is a 15 million note. Very nice. I love these. They are exceptionally rare because, again, the BEP normally pulls these out. But when you do come across them, they slap you silly. And, the price, I mean, you can't argue with a $127 sale, 29 bids. Everybody knows about these, and they're quite attractive. So, next one that we have here is a 6 of a kind sixes this time around, and then ending in 85 on this 1988 A1. Surprisingly, it sold for $44. These things, any leading 6 of a kind note, for whatever reason, they're exploding out in the marketplace because I've seen 7 of a kinds that don't sell for $40. So this is a mystery to me, but there was a few listings that ended up selling quite strong here in the last few days, and this is one of them right here. The note is in exceptional shape. It looks like a fresh BEP strap pull. Next one here is binary zeros and fives, this time on a $2 bill. Ended up selling for a penny short of $28. With a couple bids, there you go. Again, this note looks to be in really nice shape. Fresh BEP strap, crisp uncirculated example. Love that reverse on there. $28. Couple more notes here, guys. So we have another 7 of a kind ones. Paired up with a number 8, which is a fancy lucky number. $90 here for this one, 21 bids. Again, there's a distinct difference in value between a 6 of a kind or a 7 of a kind and a 7 in a row. You're going to see generally about a 20 to 30% higher value in 7 in a row notes as opposed to this one here. But nonetheless, just a stunner. I mean, I love this. A lot of ones in a serial number I find very attractive, and so do most people. So 21 bids, $90, not too shabby. We have this pretty good one here. Another 7 of a kind, this time sevens with a 1 right down the middle. $134.50, 23 bids strong. Again, this is one of the ones that has quite a bit of circulation wear. A nice red stain here that I cannot explain. Like someone spilled something on there. You can see it there on the reverse as well. So it could be a beverage of some sort. It could be some cleaner. I don't know. The note is it is technically damaged by the definition sake of the hobby when you have stains and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be a details grade note if you did send it off to like PMG or PCGS banknote. But $135 or 4 bits, right? 2 bits is a quarter. So 4 bits shy of 135. All right. And then the big one to end off the show, I was actually considering putting bids in on this one as long as it stayed under $800 because I'm like, man, it'd be cool to own because I've never owned a solid before. But this one ended up higher than what I was willing to do on it. I'll be just straight up honest. It's too expensive for me. I can't afford notes like this. Not on a family budget. So $916 with 54 bits on this 2013 $20 bill. This thing is major awesome. So it's solid sixes all the way across. Very well circulated. There's no hiding the fact that this thing was passed around like a peace pipe of sorts. And sheesh, man. Didn't even get to put in my bid because it was already over $800, by the time the half hour mark was coming up. So it does have a little teller ink here, when it's in the strap, and then they use that marker to drag it across the edge. So yeah, I mean, again, this is a note you don't need to grade when they're at this kind of like condition state. They're better off just being left as is, and no sense grading them. But there you go. I mean, and I've always thought that's like a $750 to $1,000 note. It's not the most desirable numbers. Sixes, like 5, 6s, 3s, nines, believe it or not. But good luck with nines because the term of the serial number range only goes up to 96 million. And then the balance of that, they're generally reserved for the BEP store for like sets and whatnot. So pretty crazy though. It didn't even come close, and I think I'm okay with that. Better luck next time for me. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. I got my whatnot coin auction for tomorrow night. I'll be doing a preview video on all the really kick-ass stuff that we're gonna have on there for Friday night. A lot of great giveaways. I mean, the giveaways are getting to the next level. Every single one that we do, every single show. And if you guys are interested and you haven't signed up before on the platform, it's an auction service. It's an app, and you can sign up down below in the description box. I'll have the link to my referral link where you can earn yourself $15 by signing up under me. And you can use that right off the rip on your first sale, and it's applied immediately. But it's really cool. You can even get yourself some free stuff with the $15, which is nice. It's a nice luxury. People still enjoy free, so that's going to be there. And the giveaways are free. Just come by and follow, and have fun. So we have that. But there you go. That's the fancy serial number marker report, and just really amazing stuff here this week. So that's going to go ahead and do it. And keep an eye out for this stuff. If you guys are hunting through bills, there's a lot of money to be made. I think it's still under searched. Brand new 2021 series notes are live in circulation. More new inventory to rummage through. So a lot of fun. You guys take care. Happy hunting. Sean with the Hound officially out. So long.